Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to my lecturer, Madam Hasna. So today, me and my group will present about principle and application for ZARA Foodstuff industry, Sdn Bhd. So we as a team approached this company to our simulation production. My name is Aireen Aqiessya Nabila Binti Halim. So my groupmate is Jamal Wujdi, Mohamad Nasrol, Noor Helmirza, and J1 Danish Natasya. So without further ado, let's start it. I will start with our background company. We choose ZARA Foodstuff to be our simulation company. So ZARA Foodstuff, they are established on 1996. Their place is located at Lakin, Johor Bahru. So basically, this company are producing the soy sauce, and it has their own brand which is called Kipas Udang. So, Zara Foodstuff, they producing a variety of soy sauce, which is chili sauce, tomato sauce, and more. So, their company, they have their own manufacturing to produce their product. So, they are manufacturing also at the same place as their office, and also they have 120 workers to run their process making the soy sauce. And also, Zara Foodstuff, they are exporting their products to other countries such as Singapore, Brunei, United Kingdom, and so on. And Zara Foodstuff also very familiar to to consumer to buy their product.
Next, we move to the objective simulation. When the ZARA made the simulation process, that can increase the accuracy in the production process. This can help ZARA to control the quality of the soy sauce followed by the consumer need. It also to maintain the product quality even in a different batch. For the example, they took the sample of the soy sauce go to the lab for the check, and they can get the accurate result. And for the example of the accurate result is can make the expired date be longer. Second, when the ZARA made the simulation process, they can avoid the high risk environment and encourage risk environment. This is to avoid any loss during the decision making. For example, they must choose one simulation process better than trial and error method, because to avoid any high risk losing during the decision making. This also because when the decision making is not perfect or not suitable for their making, they can make failure in a decision making can making cause losses. This is can make all the company responsible to it. Okay, next is minimize all cost invoice. ZARA can lower investment with the high quality result, which is they only need to buy or install the simulation and get this system better than trial and error method, because trial and error method need the highest investment. Because when the trial and error fail and give not accurate data, the company responsible to higher losers. That's all.
Okay, so now we will move to the data collection for ZARA Foodstuff Industry Sdn Bhd. So the first data collection is location. Basically, location is a places that contain in the system or production line in order to make sure the entities can be run in the processing. So for ZARA Foodstuff Industry Sdn Bhd, they have around 10 locations, started by cooking 1, followed by mixing fermented, QC1, separation, cooking 2, cooling, filling, conveyor, labeling, and ended by QC2. So for the second data collection is entities. So entities basically are an item in the system that will represent the input and will become the output after the completion of the process. For ZARA Foodstuff Industry Sdn Bhd, they have three entities, which is soybean, fermented soybean, and soy sauce. So the third data collection is activities. Activities is all tasks that will be performed in the system or production line. Either the activity are performed directly or indirectly toward the processing of the entities. So for ZARA Foodstuff Industry Sdn Bhd, they have three main activities, which is mixing soybean with active culture fungus, second fermenting in fiberglass, and third is checking quality of the soy sauce. So for the next data collection is resources. So resources are the important thing that used in order to process the entities through the activities in the system. So for ZARA Foodstuff Industries and Berhad, they hire around 25 workers per production line or 120 workers per production per day. So they also use semi-automatic process, which is they use system that control the machine, especially for filling process and labeling process. So next, data collection is equipment. So basically, equipment is all the tools that used by the ZARA Foodstuff Industries and Berhad in order to produce the soy sauce product. So the basic equipment that used in ZARA Foodstuff Industries and Berhad is pellet, glass bottle, a barrel, also known as fiberglass, forklift, and hygiene aids such as a glove, hair cover, and PM 2.5 mask. So the last data collection is control. So control is basically all the rules and instruction that conduct all the staff or workers in the production line to complete the process. So basically, ZARA Foodstuff Industries and Berhad will put instruction sheet for each production line to avoid any misconduction in the process.
Hi, my name is Helmirza Binti Azman, and I will present about the process of production. Basically, the process of production of the soy sauce, we have nine only, which is cook the soybean, mix the soybean with salt water, check the quality of the soybean, and then separate the soybean and the soy sauce from the fiberglass, and then cooking the soy sauce. Next is cooling process, and then go to the filling process. Next is labeling process, and lastly is quality check by QA. Okay. For first process is cook the soybean. So firstly, we need to cook the soybean that import from Canada within 4 hours to make sure that the soybeans are fully cooked. After that, the soybean will be mixed with a good fungal, which name is Aspergillus and Rhizopus, to be fermented so that the fungal will get mature to the soybean. Okay. Next process is mix the soybean with salt water, which is the soybean will be fermented with salt water into the fiberglass within 3 months or more than 3 months. Not only that, the salt that we use also import from Australia to make sure that we have high quality of production. Okay, next is check the quality of the soybean. Okay, for while fermentation process, the worker need to check the quality of the production within 2 or 3 times a month by giving the sample to the lab test. Then the microbiologist will check the sample in terms of the pH of the soy sauce and the salinity level of the soy sauce. Okay, next is we need to separate the soybean and the soy sauce. Um, Okay, for this, after fermentation process is done, the employee need to press out the soybean in the fiberglass so that the water of the soy sauce can be filtered out through the fiberglass easily. Then they will move out all the soybean from the fiberglass so that they can do the other fermentation. Next, the workers will pour all the soy sauce into the pump process to be moved to the cooking process. And then, while cooking the soy sauce, they will make sure that they use a maintained temperature which is 95 degrees above. This is because when the soy sauce are not hot enough, the burst will occur Okay, next is cooking the soy sauce. After that, they will mix the soup sugar, caramel, and preservative into the soy sauce. Thus, they will use the same temperature to make sure that the soy sauce have fine taste and flavor. Okay, next process is cooling the soy sauce. After cooking process is done, then the soy sauce will be moved into the storage for cooling process so that the soy sauce will stable from the temperature. If we are not doing the cooling process and we directly filling the soy sauce into the glass bottle, the soy sauce will turn into the bubble and the burst will occur. Okay. Next is seven. Next is filling process. Then it will be moved to filling process to be packed in bottling production line. Um, Wait, we go to the next slide. Okay. Next is filling the next is labeling process, which is after that the bottle glass of the soy sauce will move to the labeling process through conveyor by putting the label to the bottle. Okay, last but not least is quality check. Okay, the QA will check the quality of the packaging before they ship the goods to the customer. If there are some rejected product, the QA will decide either the production need to do again, or just throw the the rejected product to the rubbish.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Cik Danish Natasya, Binti Cik Mohamad Ramhairusham. Next, we go through the material handling. Material handling refers to the equipment that used in the movement of the materials from the one process to another process, or from one location to another location based on the production flow or workstation during the manufacturing. ZARA Foodstuff Industry Sendirian Berhad is one of the main company that produce soy sauce, brand Cap Kipas Udang. This company mostly will use the machines to handle their product, include filling, capping, and labeling. They use the machine to filling the soy sauce to make sure that the volume in the bottle will same with the other bottles. For capping, this is to make sure that the product did not expose to the bacteria while ship it to the customer. While for labeling, this is to make sure that the machine will label the product efficiently from one bottle to another. And the other equipment that they use to handle their product are forklift and palletize. So we move to staffing management. So basically, staffing management play will have in most of the company. So the company will manage their staff on a team project in order to make the flow of the business run efficiently and the company can achieve their goal. So we start at the first one, which is purchasing department. So in this department, they are responsible to find a raw material to make the finished product. For example, a product for soy sauce, the ingredient is soybeans, caramel, and sugar syrup. And a few of the ingredient, they will import from other countries such as Canada and also um, Australia. So they must find the supplier and negotiate with the supplier and get the best price of the ingredient. So next, second is marketing department, which is they have to promote their business and get a sale for the product. Even though they are brands already familiar with the customers, but there's still another brand that have uh, same product but different brands. So the Zara food will help to compete with other brands. And also when they have to marketing their product, they can expand their product to other countries such as Singapore, Brunei, United Kingdom, and many more. So it's good for their company to export their product at the overseas. Third one is about production line. So in this production line, they will improve the efficiency of making their product. I mean the operation of their product. How they ensure to one day they must have a target. So Zara Food production, they target to produce 5,000 bottles of soy sauce, include the small size and also the big size. So, but not least is quality QA, which is quality assurance. So, what is quality assurance? So, in this part, they have to prevent any mistake or any defect once the soy sauce is finished, and they have to make sure there's no defect to the product. And before the delivery the product, they must do some inspection to avoid any damages or any or the packaging itself, to make sure that the packaging is safety and the customer will get the high quality of the product.
So now we will move to the original layout and design. So basically, as we can see, the process in Zara Foodstuff Industries and Berhad started by cooking one and followed by fermented or mixing and QC1, and then move to the separation, and after separation it moved to the cooking two and cooling, and then it will be moved to the filling for the soy sauce will be filled up into the glass bottle and will be moved by conveyor to the next process, which is labeling. In labeling process, the process include is capping and labeling, and the last process is QC2 before the exit. So in the QC2, the workers will check the final quality before it will be distributed to the customer.
Okay, next we move to suggested layout. As we can see, for suggested layout, we just have cooking one, mixing fermented, QC1, which is quality check, and then separation, and then we move to the cooking two process, and then cooling process, filling and labeling process, conveyor, and QC2, which is the last process. As we can see in suggested layout, we just combine the filling process and the labeling process in one machine. Compared to the original layout, we have filling process and labeling process with separate machine. Okay.
So now we will move to the original simulation layout, and as you can see, we imply the same thing in the simulation system, which is the process is started by cooking one, followed by the mixing of fermented, and followed by QC1, then move to the separation process before enter the cooking to process, and after cooking to process it will be moved to the cooling process and filling process. So for the conveyor, the company use around 30 feet for the conveyor before it will move to the filling process and labeling process. So for after labeling process, it will be moved to the QC2 before the item go to the exit.
For this step, we have original simulation and suggested simulation. So we will look into the suggested simulation. As we can see in this simulation, we have cooking one, and then move to mixing fermented, and then check the quality of the soy sauce, and then the workers will separate the soybean with the soy sauce, and then we move to the cooking two, which is we cook the soy sauce, and then we cooling the soy sauce, and then in this process we can look that the filling and labeling have in one machine. And then we move to the conveyor, which is 30 feet, and then lastly quality check by QA. Okay, next.
So now we will move to the original result. We focus more on location. So for the cooking one location, the utilization is 95.45%. For mixing fermented location, the utilization is 70.64%. For QC1 is 78.39%. Separation 90.28%, cooking 2 93.51%, cooling 10.96%, filling 0.44%, conveyor 0.03%, labeling 0.79%, and QC2 10.1%.
Suggested result. As we can see, in suggested result for utilization of cooking wine is 93.99, and then for mixing fermented, as we compare to original layout, in suggested result it is increases to 83.49, and then for QC1 also increase to 78.60, and then for separation also is increases, which is 90.49. For cooking 2 also we increase to the 93.72, and then cooling process is 35.70. Filling and labeling process is 1.20, and then for conveying is 0.03, and the last utilization is for QC2 is 1.59. Okay, so that's all for me. Thank you.
Next, we move to the project gallery. For the first picture is a filling production line, and second picture is labeling line. Third picture is with ZARA production and stuff. Last picture is a fiberglass to keep the permanent soybean.